So 14 years ago, I was exactly sitting where you are right now. A student with no industry experience, no roadmap, no proper plan. Just with a dream to work in top tier 1 product-based company, right? But without a proper roadmap. So today I am a VP in one of the product-based company. So did my research work at IIT Delhi and worked in multiple countries and trained more than 1500 plus students, right? So to get into product-based company. And in this particular video, I'm going to tell you the step-by-step procedure, right? What I have gone through over these 14 years, not just the highlight, right? We'll go in depth of this particular journey. So we are going to discuss 7 steps, right? So I am going to follow the 7-step method, right? So what I have followed over the period of time, that changed everything, right? So let's go and get started. Let's start with the stage 1. So where I was student and where all these things started. So now you might be a student, so you are learning, you are studying hard, you are thinking that okay, just get a good grade and just maybe solve some of the problems, and that is going to clear my path towards maybe good jobs. I was also thinking in the same line, right? But believe me, whatever you are studying in the college, it is just the foundation of the computer science, right? It is not actually making you ready towards the industry experience. Industry have a lot of different expectations from you. They are expecting what is your problem solving thinking ability. The faster you understand the difference between the college study and the industry, what they are expecting, the faster you will also get the job. So in the stage 1, so what I figured out, the difference between the college study and the expertise or the experience that is needed as part of the industry, and try to fill that particular gap. And once you reach that particular gap, you are industry ready. So next stage come, which is the industry starts, right? So when you get a job, let's say you started your industry experience, so you landed your first job and you are excited. You think your preparation is done because you landed the job, and the day 1 when you sit in this particular industry, right, or you are started your job, then you will realize, right, so actually whatever the college has studied or you studied in the college, that is not helping here. So you have got access to a GitHub repository or code base which is kind of looks like messy and thousands and thousands of lines of code. Here the deadline is real and the expectation is very, very high from you, and you may not have a right person to hold the hand and take you forward. And this is a very crucial stage. Some engineers from here either will go very fast, or some engineers will actually stuck there for a longer period of time. So remember this from my experience, right? The first job you got, right? So it is not about working hard. It is all about building that particular habit. The engineers who actually grow faster in the next couple of years, they may not be the smartest one. They are the one who take responsibilities, right? They ask the right question, take ownership of small tasks, collaborate with different people. So if you do this, that will going to create a reputation on different people, and that is going to help you to grow in your current organization in a very fast manner. Now let's go to the stage number 3, which is the stuck stage. This is the stage nobody is talking about. So for example, you had you have 2 to 3 years or 4 years of experience, you spend some time and you gain some of the experience. Maybe you are getting, you are delivering the things, you are getting also decent appraisal kind of thing, but still you feel that okay, still feel like you are stuck at some point of time. So you are not growing as per your expectations, and you keep on failing on different product-based company interview. Juniors around you seems to be moving faster than you. I was also in the same phase. I will tell you what exactly you need to do in this particular phase. I was also grinding, right? But I was not growing, right? So there is a difference between the grinding, working hard, and actual growing. So grinding means I was doing more work, solving more problem, applying more problems, right? Growing means you need to understand and analyze something so that you will go to the next level. So most engineers stuck in this particular phase because they are actually optimizing for a matrix which is not so much relevant. For example, they just measure that how many lead code problems so you have solved maybe every day, right? So that's the matrix they are tracking, but they're not tracking how clearly you are able to solve that particular. Are you solving it in timely manner, right? Are you solving and explaining it properly to the interviewer, right? Have you taken the mock interview? So they are just keep on solving or grinding, updating resume and applying, right? So they are not thinking out of the box. That is the issue. Now come to my stage number 4, the turning point where everything changed. Let me tell you, every engineer who reaches at that particular MAANG level or product-based company, right, crack this particular interview, they must have taken one decision. They might have definitely done one shift, right? That what I did, and I want to share that with you, and you can take that particular shift as well. For me, I was just preparing everything before this, right? So I will study solid code and all these things, study DSA and solve all the problems, try to study Java, then maybe other language, SQL and all, right? But I started shifting and studied right way. I stopped asking me, right, how many lead code problems I have solved, right? So that question I stopped asking. Rather, I asked question, if I solve one single problem, then I ask, am I really understanding the patterns behind this particular problem, right? What are the drawbacks for this particular problem am I learning, right? What are the learnings I am doing out of this particular problem? Am I able to explain this particular problem very clearly if in case the interviewer asks, right? So that shift has changed everything. So the engineers who actually cracking the MAANG interview, they may not know the most, right? Rather, they are the most who thinks very clearly and explains very clearly. Also, they must have mastered this small piece of patterns. And by using this pattern, if they see any new problem, they can apply this one of the pattern out of that. So that's the difference between somebody who get lucky may get one offer and the person who is getting consistent offers and offers and offers. Right? So if you are a senior engineer who want to crack the product-based company interview, then go ahead and book a free one-to-one call with me where we'll sit together and create a personalized roadmap only for you. Now comes the stage number 5, which is the breaking into product-based company interview, right? So most of the engineers think that this is going to be very, very difficult, but believe me, it is not. The previous stage that we discussed, right? The preparation in right way, try to identify the pattern, try to understand the problem very carefully, right? So then understand the pattern where exactly this particular problem belongs to. Think clearly, explain clearly. That was the very tedious task you need to master. So once your thinking process changed and you started preparing the right way, then cracking the product-based company is not going to be so much difficult. But obviously the execution needs some step-by-step process. That is what we are going to talk about now. Product-based company interview, they actually test 4 to 5 things, right? So let us discuss one by one, right? First of all, do you really understand what is DSA pattern, right? Because you are getting a problem which is unknown and you are expected to solve it in 20 to 25 minutes, right? If it is a medium question. So that means, do we really understand which data structure to use for that particular problem? Second is the system design. Do we really understand how the system is going to work, right? Third one is that how is your thinking process, right, is going on, right? So that's what they want to also test. Fourth one is your communication skill, right? So how you are communicating with your interview. And fifth one, nowadays since AI coming into picture, so do you know have basic understanding of the AI? If you understand or master these 5 processes, then it is going to be very easy for you. So what I have seen, most of the engineer either will prepare for 1 or 2. They will just keep on solving. They will never think about how to explain to the interviewer, or they will not work there in their communication skills, or they may not know what is system design. So that's why you need to master all the 5 things. It cannot happen that okay, you just master 2 to 3 and you will expect that okay, you are going to crack the product-based company interview. No. So there is no shortcut to this. This is the system you must have to follow. Now comes my 6th shift, right? So where it is 6th shift. Now let's jump into this stage number 6. So how I jumped from senior engineer to tech lead, right? So the leadership shift we are going to talk about in this particular stage. So most of the engineers think that okay, so getting into product-based company is just the end of the end line, right? So there it is going, everything is going to end, right? But actually it is not. It is actually a new starting point. Once you get into there, then your perspective changes there. Technical skills, obviously it matters, but here there are some more things also expected from you. Can you take the decisions, right? So that is what you will be evaluated for. Can you take the ownership, right? So I mean ownership, take end-to-end ownership and complete it. Have you have the ability to lead, right? So I mean if you have multiple people, right, you have the ability to lead. So these are the important skills they will look for, right? And this is the stage where I become a tech lead in Bank of America. And believe me, once I worked on these 2 to 3 skills that I told, then I was easily moved from an engineering role to one tech lead role, right? I think jumping from senior engineers to tech lead role, right? Most of the engineers take in different way, right? So they just say that, okay, I'll just keep on coding and all, right? So then I'll just jump into the tech lead role. No, absolutely no. So they need to be, like I mentioned earlier, right? So they need to be responsible, taking the ownership and lead the team. And they make sure that the team is growing, right? Not only that you are working and you are growing, along with you are capable enough to enhance your skills, enhance your team skills, and your team is growing along with you. So let's come to the last stage, which is the 7th stage. So let's come to MAANG level, right? What actually it takes. So this is where most people think, right? So you need to have a strong background in order to go to the MAANG level company, right? Like for example, you need to be IIT, right? Some branded or something like that. Perfect background, right connection, but that is absolutely not correct. So what you need, like we discussed the stages, right? 6 stages. you need a systematic transition from one stage to another, right? And that is how I become the AVP in a tier 1 product-based company interview. It is not a log, right? So remember, it did not happen overnight. So I made a small decisions and over the period of time. So that helped me to grow over the period of time. And now I can help you to do these transitions very faster, right? MAANG level is not a destination, right? So it is a way or standard way of thinking. It means you can really think well, you can design the system very scalably, and you can manage the team very well. So this is the standard you will build over the period of time, right? So it is just not like randomly you will just jump into that particular role. So that is the high level experience about me, right? So 14 years, 7 stages, one journey. And at every stage, there was a clear path going from one journey to another journey. And at every stage, there is one thing common, a clear decision what to do next. It is not like, okay, just grinding more or solving more problem. It is a decision to take this particular step. And that's what this channel is built for also, to give you clear step-by-step instructions or the guidance, right? So how to move from one stage to other stage. So if you are a senior engineer who are really interested to crack the product-based company interview and very serious, then you can go ahead and book a free one-to-one call with me where we'll create a personalized roadmap for your MAANG journey. Lead code does not matter in interview, but this does. Just watch this particular video, right? So